эта ракета, она пересекает границу между водой и воздухом, летит так высоко, что выше, чем МКС, выше, чем 400 километров, прямо в космос. Ну, ракета ракетой, да, прям космическая. Летит по особой баллистической кривой, по самой короткой траектории, через всю Россию и бабах. Летела она со испытательного...
Назначение не указано.
Указано. Полигон Кура на Камчатке. Она летела из Баренцева моря с испытательным полигоном. Вот так вот через всю Россию на Камчатку.
The water is not so cold, though it's a part of Arctic Ocean. The temperature of water today is plus 15. Sometimes in summer it's plus 5. And I see one of my friends. What is she going to do? Swimming, Natasha?
She's going swimming in the water.
Oh my gosh. Russian women are the strongest in the world. They're not afraid of cold water at all. I hope, my dear viewers, you trust me, because I film only what I see right here, right now. My name is Marina, and this is channel Made in Rusland. I'm traveling in the northern city Arkhangelsk. There are no actors in my video, there are no people improving something around, and only life as it is. Are you with me? Let's explore this city. My dear viewers, have a look at this countryside on the bank of Severodvinsk river. What do you think? Isn't it so nice to live in a small house somewhere in the suburb of northern city Arkhangelsk and admire the nature? Sure, as for me, I prefer to live in a big city, and I adore Moscow, but it's a really cozy place here. Wow, ultimately, we reached the Museum of Wooden Architecture and Folk Art. Northern people lifestyle. You know, guys, it was my dream to visit this place because it is something very, very Russian. Oh my dear viewers, this is so fabulous and eye-catching. This northern nature and this wooden architecture of previous centuries. I will try not to talk a lot and just show you my beautiful country. Ancient chapel. I'm like in fairy tale. Mysterious forest and woman in old Russian costumes. My dear friends, today I would like to show you how do we keep our customs and traditions, how do we save our heritage in Russia, and this is wonderful, perfect example of it. Museum Malые Karely. It's located not far from Arkhangelsk, and it's really huge and amazing. All these exhibits are original. They were brought from far away, distant villages here, log by log, and now we have a chance to see these unbelievable exhibits in a picturesque atmosphere, in a picturesque nature. I hope you are with me. Спасибо, иду. And it's time to visit this wooden chapel. Ильинская chapel. Traditional scarf. The chapel of Prophet Elijah of 18th century. I can feel this atmosphere of ancient times. You can see that excursions are everywhere. This is very popular place, must-see museum when you travel around northern part of Russia. This bell tower dates back to the middle of 19th century. And traditional divine Orthodox church. I would like to go inside. And you? Wow, have a look at this date of building, 1638. There were no domes in these churches. Just a ceiling. And iconostasis is also ancient. Isn't it marvelous, my dear viewers? Everything is original here. Houses and churches were brought disassembled in this museum. One log at a time, you see? From the far northern villages. It's good to see these old, ancient buildings in one place. It was only the beginning of this museum. Let's go forward. These small houses were called granary. It's just like a storage. And I like to see the interiors of this bake house of a peasant. The peasant was not poor, I hope. Did you hear that Russians are very, very religious people since ancient times? And it's not a secret that there were a lot of wooden churches. In every village there was a church. It's all so peaceful. Oh, welcome to Russia, my dear viewers. The smell of flowers and honey and different herbs is inspiring. Can you hear the whisper of the trees? I want you to be relaxed a little bit, because this second part of my video is about White Sea. Don't miss it. Another small chapel brought here from remote village. I think it's new life of the old buildings, and we must keep it. We must save it, because it's really wonderful. It's a masterpiece. Every building here is a masterpiece. Can you hear the birds singing their songs? I close my eyes and just feel the spirit of bygone times. Wow. Staircase. But where? People say a new wooden city, another wooden city is over there, behind the forest. Okay guys, looking at the map I see that we explored only this area and there are 3 more. Wow! 4 different areas are represented here. 4 different villages, 4 different areas of this northern region. Let's go. Sometimes it's really complicated to be a traveler. Whew. But wow, but it's worth seeing. In my opinion, the windmill of this district is similar to the previous one. I think only professionals can identify differences, yes. Whew. Frankly speaking, I've never seen such a great amount of mosquitoes. I use just special spray against mosquitoes, but I think local mosquitoes like it. And now it's time to change the location, and I have a plan just to show you today one more place. This is industrial city Severodvinsk. And the White Sea. Let's go. You know, my dear viewers, that my videos are not historical. They are emotional, because this is the first time I'm here in this Mali Kareli museum, and I hope to come back here together with you when you come to Russia. Oh, these mosquitoes. My dear foreign viewers, welcome to Russia. And welcome to this old house with the hospitable owners. And can you hear the stove? Can you hear the fire? The owner of this house the owner of this house was a bell ringer, and he belonged to the middle class. You may ask me, where did they sleep? Here. You see, between the ceiling and the stove. It was the warmest place in Izba. Because you remember that the name of Russian house is Izba. Yeah, Izba is a house with Russian traditional stove. Would you like to join my meal today? Welcome to Russian Izba, my dear viewers. I have porridge and traditional northern pies, kalitki. Wow, great. And this is the house of very rich peasant. Do you know why was he rich and wealthy? Because he decided to open his own business, to start his business. It was a bar, village bar, in northern style. It was in the middle of 19th century. And if the guest drank a lot, too much, for example, of alcohol, local drinks, so this is a hotel. He could sleep here and have a rest. Can you see these giant logs? Do you know what's this? Pine trees, northern pine trees. Very good material. And have a look what's located on the second floor. This was the storage for hay for livestock. It's like a stadium. And here is the exhibition of original sleighs. So, northern vehicles. Probably you remember the wonderful masterpiece, Boyarinya Morozova. So, the same sleighs, guys, as on the picture. Wow, have a look at this design of the sleighs. It's something extraordinary, really. And I hope these sleighs were for merchant's wife. Have a look at this flower design. Great vehicles, so interesting. It's just gripping for me. Things from previous centuries. And here is the house of old believers. Old believers are what Christians who departed from the Orthodox Church during the reforms of Nikon call themselves. And guys, some historians call them Orthodox Protestants. For me, it's like a secret organization.
All believers were very private people. Everything is modest and restrained in their houses and in their lives. And they have never liked guests in their houses.
Literally, the history come to life here. And if you want to immerse yourself in old previous ages, welcome to Arkhangelsk region. The road in Arkhangelsk region is very comfortable, is very beautiful, and have a look at this gorgeous nature all around. And the road is rather convenient, you see. Girls, welcome to the restaurant of Northern cuisine. Woo! Cheers. I have Siberian berry drink with pine tree brunch. And Natasha, what's there? Uha, Russian fish soup. And pie. Enjoy your meal. This is for me. I ordered venison with mushrooms. And what's there? Salty fish, salty herring with what? With dry bread. Galina, and here stracciatella. The northern cuisine is really fantastic. This is cod with very special sauce with pickled gooseberry and mashed potato. Looks scrumptious. This is a cloudberry, very popular and very healthy berry of the northern part of Russia. Have you got any ideas what does the name of the city Arkhangelsk mean? The city of angels. Yeah, the city of angels. It's like Los Angeles. Can you see something familiar? Severodvinsk is really very industrial city, and you see all the communications are above the ground. And if you remember my video from Yakutsk, the city with guts out, so it's similar. Severodvinsk looks like Yakutsk a little bit. One of the most important plants in Russia. Will you guess what's it about? Yeah, it's submarine plant. For sure, it's strictly prohibited now to visit this military plant, but we can just admire it from this point. And this is a mock-up of a missile submarine. My country, USSR, was a really huge country, the biggest in the world. And just have a look at these state borders. This is Vladivostok, and this pink line is a border, 1941, 1942. For sure, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Uzbekistan, and what's here? Yes, Armenia and Georgia, Azerbaijan, and let's see, Moldova, Ukraine, Belarus, Baltic countries, and part of Finland. And at the same time, the southern part of island Sakhalin belonged to Japan. Now,
it's Russian, as well as Karelian Island. See a little bit of this unique plant only from this point. It's really very difficult to see something extraordinary. Wow! Submarine Repair Center, and we are here. Now we know the most secret part of the submarine. This is propeller. Wide sea, 150 meters only from here. The water is clean and really not so cold as it seemed to be. Welcome to the Arctic Ocean, another wonderful part of our beloved Russia. Natasha, I'm going to visit Arctic Ocean. For me, it's impossible. Maybe I'm not Russian. Wow. I have no words. Come back, please, come back. I think she's happy. I have a towel for her. The water is very, very hot. Plus 15. Natasha, how are you? How was it? There is a memorial to the grieving mother on the very shore of the White Sea. You know, my dear viewers, Russians honor the memory of the soldiers who died in the Second World War. We call it Great Patriotic War. And yes, we hate Nazis. Eternal memory. Soviet soldiers who died on the battlefield in Karelia are buried here. The memory of the horrors of Nazism is too vivid in our country. We feel such a peaceful, cozy, like home atmosphere here. You see families with kids and with dogs are walking along the beach. The nature is really wonderful. Pine tree forest and a little bit cool wind.